Hey everyone, GeForce41 here with another PGA Tour 2K23 golf course design tip video. This is quick tips number 6. And today we are going with viewer recommendations. This is a viewer's of my channel's course. He asked for some comments and feedback. This is Dream Acres by Joe. I believe it's Little Bo Peep. I forget the exact number. We'll put a graphic up for you. And he's a new designer and wanted some feedback on it. So we're going to play a few holes, see what we got. Okay, so it's certainly tee ready. We love that in the casuals. But let's take a look. We've got some crowds lining the fairways. We've got a shortish four to start. Okay, a few things. So I like the look with the grandstands to start. If that's the type of course you're doing, go ahead and stick with it. The guys on the side, the crowd on the side, a little too cluttered and clustered. So when you're doing crowds, be careful with them. You want to try to scatter them out and again, make them look natural. I know I use that analogy in all my videos. Make your greens look natural, all this, all that. Planting tree lines look natural. Same thing here, right? You would never see a clump of people just standing there like that. Why is there a clump there? I would remove those folks, right? There's no reason. You've got the grandstands there. I don't know why anybody would be standing there. They're kind of in the line of fire. I don't think they'd be allowed there, to be honest with you. Same thing over here. They're just kind of clumpy. Scatter them out a little bit. The way to do that is take the brush, whatever it is, and making it as small as possible, and dot it around. Okay. Don't make a big circle and then hit it, and then like this. Let me try to get over. If you just take a brush that's the size of this white circle and hit it, you're going to get a very dense populated circle, and it looks kind of just odd. So same thing on the side here. They're too close to the fairway. If you were at a tournament, would you ever be this close to the fairway? No, you'd be up in the tree line somewhere. There'd be ropes or what have you. So try to think of that naturally up by the green as well. Okay, that's number one. Number two, splining. Look at the splines. Sloppy, crooked, jagged. No offense, my friend, just trying to help, but look at my new video on splining and fairway splines. It also has a historical 5-minute intro to my new work in progress. A look into the historical Commonwealth Country Club, which is now known as Newton Commonwealth Golf Course. Very familiar to any New England golfer. But see how everything's just kind of jagged here? You're looking at kind of nice parkland course. I don't know why everything's so bumpy. You got to get down to these splines one by one and smooth them out. Make a nice smooth curve. If you don't want smooth curve, that's fine. If you want a kind of straight and squared look, that's fine too. But this just kind of looks like a rough draft to me, right? The bunkering, I don't know about yet. I don't know if I like it. That looks like a stock shape. That just looks odd. Looks like you have not sculpted them, so bunkers always need sculpting. I have nothing against odd, unique shapes. They're a little more challenging to do. And let's take a look at the water here. So that's kind of a big bunker there. I don't... Strategically, I don't know why you wouldn't bring the water up into play here. I would have instead of a bunker there, you've got just, I would bring the water up into play, off to the left side. So be careful with large bunkers. They get you want to make a waste bunker, make a waste bunker. They get a little unwieldy and hard to make them look good. The sculpting looks a little odd sometimes. All right, let's get moving. So that's my first take. And I wouldn't have that bunker there in the center. I don't know why that's there, but we'll talk more. This bunker off on the right is way too close to the fairway. It's like right on top of it. You want to see that as well. And again, the crowd here, right? You would never have a crowd this close. Not sure you would have a grandstand that close either, but that's neither here nor there. The sloping of the green, again, the water's over here. What do we know from my other videos making your greens look natural? Probably the natural slope of that land is going this way, down to the water this way. So I'm not sure you would have a green that would slope off to the right like that. Okay, could you have a hill? Yeah, but you would see that if it was perched up on a hill somewhere. Like, so the back left, if that was a hill and this green was tucked on that hill, you might see that. But that just looks a little odd, and it's a little too severe, too slopey. That's too big of a bump. That's 4 feet, 6 feet. That's going up a good 2 feet, 3 feet. Okay. All right. So I'd make the green look a little bit more natural. I'd hit a better pitch if I concentrated. Otherwise, the pin's in a decent spot, and that putt's fine. So the the putting, the puttable surface area where you're actually putting is fine. Just I'm not sure about the overall contours of that green. Okay, so we're gonna play a few here. I'm not gonna play the whole course because sometimes my comments might get repetitive. So again, I like this look. I like the grandstands. That's a little bit better. The scattering there, I just think they're a little too close to the action. And they're too bunched there. So again, let's talk about these bunkers. You got these bunkers right in front of this fairway. I'm not sure why. I don't, unless you're going for something that I'm not thinking of, I don't ever almost see that. There's no reason to have a bunker fronting the fairway unless it's a big, huge forced carry and something odd. Some sort of cliff or dunes base course is what I'm thinking about. This is a big carry to the front of the fairway. So you want to start your fairways anywhere from 100 to 200 yards out. 185 is a good number. Where I start, kind of 175, 185. Your visual, that visual there is not that great. So you'd want to show your work and show your course. You don't see the fairway and you don't see those bunkers on the other side. Why? I don't know, because it's a flat shot, right? It's only 1 foot down from here. 1 foot, okay? There's no elevation change and you can't see anything. So again, going back to the other tip videos, show your work. I'd get rid of that bunker and sculpt around it, show off the fairway and show off the bunkers. Think of all those great Matt F courses that I demonstrate for you. He's a master at that. No one better than Matt at that, at showing your work and showing the fairway and the bunkers out there. Okay, so let's get out there. Again, I'm not big on those grid lines. He's got very thick grid lines. You can use them, depends on the type of course you're going for. I just think they look awful. Just kind of cliche and goofy. Slope of that green's a little better. It's going towards the water. Again, you've got to, I'm not going to repeat the stuff on the crowds. You see, they're just lining in too close. Bunkers way too big. I mean, that's not a waste bunker. You've kind of got a basic parkland course going, not a dunes base course. Otherwise, the strategy here is very kind of bland. There's not much going on. So we'll play another hole and see if we can figure anything out. Think about your strategy. Have options off the tee. There's not much to think about here. Left, right, where do you want to be in the fairway? Left, right, how do you want to approach the green? Things like that. Think of the 3 schools of golf design, right? There's the strategic, the punitive or penal they call it, and the heroic. And we've talked about that in videos before. Strategic is obviously just what it says. You've got to think of a strategy off the tee. Penals, where there's a severe penalty for a miss. There's kind of only one shot you're going for. And heroic is a carry over a cross bunker, something like that. Okay, again, show off your work, folks. This is another example. The tee box is in the way. You always have a view of a par 3 hole from where you're teeing off from. Think about it. Have you ever teed off and not been able to see the green on a par 3? If it's uphill, you can see up the hill. But downhill, you always see it, okay? So you want to show off your work and show off the visual. Here you can't see it. You might be able to see it from the front. Can't see it here. Common mistake. I see it all the time. So you basically, what you could do is stagger your tee boxes. Move that one over. If it's downhill, where you're teeing off from has to be pretty close to the edge, or you're not going to be able to see it. So you can just simply move that tee box over and sculpt down in front of where you're teeing off. Just checking out the green here. Not bad. A little slope down. Yeah, that's gonna work. It's going back. I hope you don't put a pin there. A pin back here might be a good idea. So right where it is now is fine for a long 3. Not bad. We're going way down, so we're gonna go down. So again, general sculpting on the bunkers. It doesn't look like there's any sculpting's been done at all. There's plenty of videos out there on sculpting. My bunker video is for Lynx bunkers, but it touches on the basics. But anything out there by Canuck, Crazy Canuck, or Ben, B101, all sorts of good stuff out there. Make sure you sculpt your bunkers. Okay, not bad. All right, this one a little better. We've got a smiley face kind of thing, frowny face, kind of a principal nose bunkerish kind of thing going. You might want to go with something like that. Just a little too big. I would stick with those two or three smaller ones. Make it interesting because what you want here is a left-right decision. There's not enough room, especially if this is sloping this side. And then this is sloping this side, right? So that kind of takes it out of play, unless I got wind at my back, and I'm not going to reach. So fine to have a 3-wood option here, but you could play this off as a basic left-right, or you know, kind of a center line bunker with a high-low option, right? You could elevate this side, and then bring this is the low side, right? And I give more room and shrink the bunkers. That way, you can kind of take a shortcut this way, but that's not going to be a great angle. Or you can go up this way, and now you got a better angle, okay? So I'm just going to hit it here to see what happens. But I have a bad feeling that that's not going to stay up. Or will it? Okay. There was enough room. So, again, I think it's a little tight, but I would definitely give a little bit more room than that. Especially on a par 5, because you want people to have the fun shot in, right, if they can. So I like this. So this is good. This is more natural. It's going down to the water as you expect. There's a little shelf there. It's not huge. And then you got another tier up there. That's kind of bowl-shaped a little. I would not quite go with the bowl. Maybe just have that going down to the water subtly too. Let's hit a shot in. It's going to be a little much, so I'm going to pull it back. Okay. So that could be a really good hole. I think if you just give a little bit more room on each side, make it a little bit more of a high-low, shrink those bunkers a little. This could be an excellent par 5. And one more. Again, it's kind of right in the middle there. You just had a centerline bunker. You don't want to go to that well too often, right? If you're going to have centerline bunkers, that's fine. You don't want it too much. So you've got a lot of big bunkers in the middle, right, on each hole. I'm not sure that's the way you want to go. And so here, you know, this is no strategy other than to carry it, right? So I got 31 feet down. There's not much doing here other than you might want to be a little bit more left at this hole location on the approach, but that's about it. Again, show your work. Your tee box is in the way, and you can't see that bunker off the tee. So you've got a bunker right in the middle of the fairway. You can't see it. Okay. You need to see it. Blind shots are a thing, but they have to be intentional, not unintentional. I'm going to make one more comment on... We'll take a look at the next hole, and I'll make the comment on the planting. So you got a good angle here. You know, again, these bunkers are huge. That looks like a stock shape. You just... Because I just know the shapes from designing. You don't ever want to just take a stock shape and use just that. Use it 2 or 3 times, squiggle it around, or what have you, because it looks too formulaic. People recognize them, especially if you design. You know, it's just... you're plopping a shape down. Sneak in there. Come back. Okay. I got a putt. And trickle in there. There you go. Alright. So... This is a par 3. This is kind of basic stuff. Nothing too interesting or exciting here to talk about, but this you have a better view. I just sculpt the bunkers a little, maybe get the crowd out of the way there, etc. But just a comment on the planning, you've got a very green look, and then you've got this bright red stuff in. It doesn't quite make sense to me. I'm not sure what you're going for. Um, if it's a fall look and you've got kind of evergreens, but no, you've got regular kind of elms and stuff. I'm seeing what these trees are, but it doesn't look foresty in the fall. It doesn't look like anything. So you've got some evergreens in the back there, but you've got regular green trees and then this bright red and this yellow. So I'd pick one. Stick with the green or go for a totally fall look. But this looks in between, and it doesn't even. I guess you could call this a late September or early October, at least up here. But you wouldn't have the deep reds. So it just looks, again, a little unnatural and a little out of place and odd. So be careful if you're planting. Have a theme and stick with it. And that's it. That's all I'm going to say here about this one. I think we're going to take those few comments as a win. Focus on that bunkering, placement of the bunkering, sculpting of the bunkers. Great idea with the crowds, but they're in the wrong spots and they're too cluttered. And then just keep in mind the greens and making them look natural. Some of them were good, and a couple of them need some work. And as always, most new designers always make the mistakes of not showing off their work, especially off the tee box. All right. So keep those in mind. Otherwise, good idea. Good. I think this is a solid course you've got going. It just needs some work on those things, and then employing a little bit of strategy in each of the holes to make them more interesting and more playable, and what I call repeat playable. You want somebody to come back for more, and keep playing your course and put it on a favorites list, right? So, all right, good job, Joe. Any more questions, let me know. Drop me a line in the comments. Anybody else has questions, let me know. If you want your course reviewed, let me know. I'll try to get to it. Any other thoughts, comments, suggestions on the videos and what you want to see, I'm happy to listen. So thank you so much for joining, and we will talk again soon. Bye for now.